Hi, this is Alma Nelson. I'm an online therapist, and I teach people how to have great relationships, the skills and tools you need to really make it work. So today I want to talk about communication. It's a big topic, and we need education on what it is and what it's supposed to be, and then a quick tool. How can I upgrade it even today? So what's the goal of communication? A lot of people get this wrong because we don't think about it. I think most of our emotional struggles and our relationship struggles, we simply don't know how's it supposed to go or what's normal. But the goal in communication, let's imagine talking about an intimate partner, you're dating or married, but this applies to all relationships, colleagues, friends, family members. The goal of communication is to feel heard and understood. That's it. Heard and understood. Two rules though. Feeling heard and understood does not mean I agree. And feeling heard, and it's like saying I hear you, I understand you. It doesn't mean I agree. And it doesn't mean I give up my right to share what I would like to share. But that should be the goal of conversation. Okay. Easy to do, right? Well, obviously not. I don't like putting out materials and ideas that sound so nice, but like you can't really do it. The internet is loaded with like all kinds of hopium out there. But it's like, okay, practically, how do I do it? Because let's talk about it. But that's still the goal. So now you at least have that clarity of what we're aiming for. How do I get there? Well, why do we not get there? Emotions. We don't get there because of emotional triggering. A lot of times when we are talking with someone, we're not simply trying to convey information. We're trying to get them to do or say something that would then meet some kind of emotional need of ours. That's not going to work. Yes, I can get validation, reassurance, a sense of security from the person, from my partner, which is once I feel heard and understood, that's going to give me that sense. But I have to be an active participant in it also. And so how do we get there? What we've got to do is we've got to start doing our own work. We've got to connect to our own emotions. So what I want you to do is go to Google Images. I want you to search feelings chart. I want you to download it. Okay. Click pause, come back, do what you got to do. Now you have this feelings chart. Okay. Imagine someone you need to have a conversation with. Okay, great. Imagine how that conversation is going to start to flow. Okay. All of a sudden, a bunch of emotions is going to come up for you. Let's connect to those. So take feeling those feelings, connecting to those feelings. What am I feeling as I imagine myself in the future? What you're doing is triggering yourself in the future. Part of you is not trying to hurt you, it's trying to help you, get you ready. And the way that you do is take that information. Don't see it as an enemy, see it as a friend trying to put you in touch with information that needs your attention. Use the chart. So, okay, I'm imagining this conversation I'm going to have. Where in the body do I start feeling and noticing feelings coming up? As I glance through the list of feeling words on the chart, whatever chart you pick that you like, which feeling words name the feelings that I'm feeling? Which of them accurately describe it? Okay, I would write it down just so that you have it. Okay, then take a deep breath and let it go. You should feel more heard and understood and more calm. You literally just heard and understood yourself. And a big key to feeling heard and understood by someone else is first hearing and understanding yourself. Most of us are triggered and then we're off to the races. Most of our conversations are us trying to meet our emotional needs while we're talking to the other person. That's why it never works out. Do you have a repeating, ongoing argument with your partner or friend that just never seems to go away? What are the emotions that are going on there? That's the problem. We need to get to a different model. Once you realize the goal of the conversation is to feel heard and understood, it starts with you hearing and understanding yourself. We've got to come into these conversations as much as possible already feeling heard and understood. And if you find yourself in the middle of a conversation that's getting tricky, you say, listen, let's come back to this a moment, or I need to think about it. Let me come back to you on it. But we need to move to a different model of feel then deal. I need to get in touch with what I feel. I need to think about what's going on with me, be at least minimally, what do I really think, feel, need, and want in this moment? And what's truly best for me in this situation? Great. Now I have that clarity. Now I could deal. What should I say? What should I do? Now I'm ready to engage in the conversation. Now, when you engage in the conversation, the technique is like, okay, listen, you speak, tell me your point for a minute, and then I'll tell you what I'm hearing, and you correct me. Then I'll reflect and we go reflect and correct, reflect and correct. Okay, great. And then I'll get my turn. So we set it up. You already came into the conversation more heard and understood because you took a moment to be with your feelings. You took a moment to get clear about what you want. And that brings down the emotions. So now you can engage in the conversation more effectively. Now it's about feeling heard and understood, but it's easier to do it because I know that I'm going to get my turn. And I'm less needy of you to fix my emotions or deal with my emotions. I've already done part of that process. Now the conversation has a chance to succeed and really thrive. So just set it up. You take a minute and I'll reflect. You correct me until you're satisfied. I'll keep going back until you're satisfied. You feel heard. Then we'll switch roles. Now I'm going to share for a minute. Cap it at a minute because it's too hard to remember longer than that. You may think that your partner's not listening to you. It's harder to go longer than a minute. You want to keep doing a second round, third round, fourth round, go for it. What you're aiming for is actually to feel heard and understood. Because once you do, it's so much easier then to move on to resolution. So it is just simple, and it is about hearing and understanding. As long as you hear and understand yourself first, try it with the chart, tune into what you feel. Even if you've had the conversation, it blew up, you're not resolved. Take a moment to do your own inner work, your own parenting, your own nurturing, connect to your own feelings, and then re-engage in the conversation and see if it isn't more successful and effective.